Good morning, good day to you. Welcome to the Keshe Foundation Knowledge Seekers Program, as usual. Whenever and wherever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers. We have a slight problem with Rick in the background, but we keep the system on the front to see when he'll be joining back. We try to delay the teaching slightly till we get the YouTube and the rest from the Rick side back up. And we were informed that there could be a slight problem with live stream.
Recording in progress.
With Rick before the beginning of the program. This is because of the changes in Zoom and live stream programming and setup. As usual, as we started with hosting of the what we call the advertising. In the past 2 weeks, the Keshe Foundation has launched the new space flight system. The new space flight system brings into operation a collection of all the teachings of the past years of the Keshe Foundation. We are a space program. We are a space-based program. We are a structure to bring a new technology, a new understanding, a new work into the structure of the travel. Does not matter in what sense. Hi, Rick, you're back.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Keshe.
Yes, it's okay. I have already started. It's okay. Just put the screen on and we can. Just put the background on the screen. The process of all the teachings in how to nanocode, how to make gases, how to use the fields, how we make cup 1, cup 2, and all the teachings with the energy and fields of the magraphs was to bring us to this point, the point of the journey, preparing the man to take flight from this planet. It's like when you go to travel, you start weeks before making sure all the clothing, all the things you need for a long journey is there, you don't miss anything. Everything is in the suitcase. But this time the suitcase is a suitcase of knowledge. We added step by step. We brought more and more people to understand what is in this suitcase of travel. The suitcase of knowledge for a space is very different than the suitcase of the man traveling the planet Earth. We came to understand we don't need no clothing. We came to understand we have no means of digesting food to take the memories of the best food and the sweets from our home to where we are going while we are traveling and be there. We came to understand that the emotion of missing home will not exist as is part of us as we are home now across the universe. And then the suitcase became bigger and bigger. It became larger through the knowledge of man. It became larger through understanding of many, many, many knowledge seekers. In a way, when you go as a team to travel, as a group to travel, everyone brings what they like. Everyone brings a taste of their word, their interest, book, videos, or whatever. We'll find out man in the space cannot take these things. The only things we'll take with us is the memory of the man within the dimension of physicality and the memory of the soul of the man in the dimension of the universe. We'll leave the double life. What is the next step? Now that the suitcase of the knowledge of the man to take the first journey is nearly complete. The only thing is, now we have showed you the crafts that will take you. Now you're on a journey from home to the dimension of the airport or the train station to get that flight, to get that journey to start. And many of you knowledge seekers are in that step. Many people will join us very rapidly because they want to be a passenger. They buy the last minute tickets to get on. But this journey will not end here. This journey starts here for man. This journey of man in a deep space has just started. What we are asking you is to put the last pieces of whatever you love, you care, in the dimension of memory and emotion in the suitcase of the knowledge of the man for a space. Many of your clothes, which you might think you take in a suitcase, at the point of arrival through its gravitational magnetic field would not exist. You say, I know I left that shirt. I know I left that toy. I know I left that food in the suitcase, but where is it? That toy, that shirt, that food had a physical dimension in the gravitational magnetic field of the earth with the emotion of the physicality of the man. In a dimension of new air, in a new dimension of the position and feel the strength. It's like a sugar in hot water. It's there, but not tangible. We carry the essence of the taste of the sugar in the water as the memories of our lives on earth. Many of us will feel this dimension of the truth. Many of us will yearn to feel the dimension of physicality of it. We yearn to be loved the way we loved on earth. We yearn to be touched, but would not exist. The touch, the feeling, the emotion will have a different strength, will have a different meaning, will have a new dimension. We, as knowledge seekers and as a human race, we have started a new journey. The suitcase nearly packed, and the last pieces of what is needed to be added to it is getting there, that we can have it with us when we go. But as I said, many of you will be disappointed, as at the point of arrival, there is nothing in that suitcase of the physical dimension of the man. In so many ways, as you will see when you enter, and we explained in the teaching of last week, you will see no steering wheel. You will see no controls. You will understand that you become the controller of the position and dimension. And if you're so attached to earth, you will go nowhere. You hear in Tanoi, sorry, the train is at the station. Because the soul of the physicality and the soul of the man are not ready to take that journey. Many of you will go, but you'll be disappointed. You love to be the passengers of the universe, but the dimension of the physicality and hold on the physical dimension will keep you. In a way, it's the old song, there is no such a dress. The dress does not exist in your emotion, as the dress for you is earth, and you are too physical to understand. With the mankind change in time and the emotion changes in time, in some cases, yes. But the attachment to physicality will not allow many people who will travel. As you've been on the website of the Keshe Foundation, and some of you have already shown interest to be the passengers of the flights into the moon after 6th of June, you will find out you receive a refund on your ticket as your soul is not prepared to take the journey of physicality with itself. What you want is not what your soul wants. I'm not ready yet. I need time to mature, maybe not in my time and dimension, but in the time and dimension of my children, my grandchildren. The attachment to what we call emotion and understanding is too deep. In talking to some knowledge seekers and some people who are trying to understand the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation, in the past week, I've been explaining in a very simple way. Mankind has to be ready in both dimensions of the soul and the soul of the physicality. And then the man is ready as totality to take in the oceans of the fields of the universe. There'll be no difference in traveling the depth of the universe. You have a turmoil, you have a magnetic field flows, you have the hurricanes of the field from the explosion of the stars. You will be tumble, you will roll, you will find out if you've chosen the craft version, you are in a dimension of the physicality. And man will grow. As I said to the ambassadors and the people who are working in the direction of understanding the technology, how are your leaders going to tell your nationals and your followers that the time has come? The time of change for us to understand the next level of understanding has come, where most of physical dimension does not exist. When you enter these units, there is no food. What's going to happen to your stomach? Still, you might create children of space in the coming time. They will have in their DNA the process of creating a stomach, creating a digestion system, creating of cleaning, creating systems to reject what it doesn't need. But in the dimension of the flights, in the universal systems, there is no such thing, but still stays in the background in the RNA and DNA of the soul of the man and the soul of physicality, that if man returns to earth in due course, all shall be created again. All be functioning again. All be ready to go. Very much the way we do in the womb of the mother at the time of the growth within the structure of the womb of the mother. We are in another spaceship, a spaceship of the life of the mother. In the coming time, many of you will have problems to understand it, but once you taste it, you come to feel the truth about it. In the coming weeks, in the coming months, we start teaching the process of the conversion of the cell of the man to energy, and collectively to become the soul of the man to be able to travel. Rick, if you can show the vertical enhancement units, please. If you can raise it on the screen. In the what we call vertical enhancement unit, this is what about to happen in the dimension of the existence, in the dimension of understanding. The section where the system is open, go forward to the point where the system is open. Just go back, go back, go back. When you see the full length, that slide, it just comes there. That's perfect. In this system, The soul of the man will be somewhere here. The physicality of the man will take shape and it'll be somewhere here. The structure of the fields of this system are set to bring the dimension of the physicality into the position of the soul. At the same time, the fields of the structure are set to create the squeezing of the fields of the physicality or the soul dimension of the physicality into the same point. What do you get? The soul of the man as a whole being able to leave the dimension of physicality as both have been brought together in a very controlled way, and what you'll be left with is nothing. At this point, as you are energy, I can transfer you into another system. I can take you into another system by the dimension of the flight and manifest your soul. And then set the system into reverse, where the soul of the man will open up the dimension of physicality, and the soul of the physicality will grasp the opening of the physical dimension of that. In the past, in the present science, they tried to move an atom, they tried to move something somewhere, but they haven't realized that an atom has a soul. If the scientists can move the soul of the atom will totality move. And this is the purpose of the vertical systems, where we are open to the both dimensions of the field of the universe, and what is there, that the soul of the man in a dimension of its own package will move to the position of the desired destination. In the Keshe Foundation, we have developed such a line of communication, such a transfer of the energy. We have tested it, and it's part of the new flight system. As now the Keshe Foundation Austria has been given to become a space, what we call aircraft manufacturing for a space development by the authorities. We are there to show the system. We are there to run the prototypes and invite the government officials and people, leaders in the space technology to be present when the tests are done, when the systems are assembled, that it becomes certified for man to travel within the dimension of this planet. But beyond it, we have no authorities except the authority of the Creator. As the Austrian official said, up to 80 kilometers is under our rule. Above that, we have no rule. You go to the others who think they control the space. But those who control the space have the limitation of a few hundred kilometers more, and beyond that is the rule of the universe. And Keshe Foundation works in that dimension. Many of you will go through the physical transportation and transmutation. Many of you will go through the energy transmutation and transportation. It's for you to decide which mode of transportation you'd like to take and to be part of. How do we squeeze the fields of the universe that makes your soul to receive enough to leave the physical dimension? And then how we squeeze the fields of the physical dimension of the soul to be added to the dimension of the soul of the man that matures exactly the way at the point of death of the physical life of you at the moment to be able to release itself. Maturity of the time comes from where the soul of the man has received enough to be able to take that trip, has created enough connection with every cell of the body of the man to take everything it needs for it to take flight. As I said in other teaching many years ago, now you might understand, is these machines we produce are exactly like a juice extractor. You put the carrot and you put the grapes and you put the apple in a juice extractor. Once the extractor has squeezed the juice out of it, that they're all together, you are left with the leftover, which is squeezed out of the machine. And this is your life at the moment. At the point of death, what is left is what that juice extractor has rejected, because the true essence of the fruit has gone into the juice, into the liquid which you take. And in essence of the soul of the man, when all the soul energies of every cell of the man is given to the soul of the man, then the new soul, the new, what we call totality, will leave the body of the man and leaves the body of the man as that wasted thing as we had with a juice extractor. No more and no less. Man has made a system to show the process of the creation, but he never understood. Now, if you look, the new enhancement units are in that process to release all the souls of every cell of body of the man to be available to the soul of the man from the soul of dimension of physicality of the cells, that the soul of the man receives enough, matures enough that he can release itself from the dimension of the physicality. And in the present knowledge, in the present dimension of the life of the man, there is a leftover, which is the body of the man, what we call the morgue, the body, the leftover. In the process of transportation and transmutation, we take everything as embedded within the soul of the soul of the physicality and the soul of the physical material with us as part of the dimension of the transportation and transmutation. In a way, we make, instead of the soul of the man to be on its own, we make the cage to become the carrier. We encapsulate the soul of the man in a plasma of the fields of the system, and we allow it to manifest itself in another dimension. And then when we take the plasmatic encapsulation away, the physicality of the man will manifest itself in the presence of the time and a position on Earth, or on the other positions and systems in the universe. This plasmatic encapsulation will be perfectly understood in the coming time when you don't have one of these systems with you on the sun or on the moon or on Jupiter or another position in the universe where you want, you like to reach, but there is no system. The encapsulation which is created will take you there, will deliver you to the position, will create you the dimension of life and allow you to manifest yourself in whatever shape or form according to the physical plasmatic structure of the environment as a new creature in that position and dimension. As long as you can keep the dimension of the what we call plasma capsule, you can return back to the position. And if we can make the same systems as we are doing in Austria, and we're sending these systems across the planet, you don't want to come back to Austria. You go to New York, you go to Tehran, you go anywhere else you feel where the systems are, or you can divert your systems if you become good enough in a way to move the source to the point. As I said, we start slowly opening the knowledge that how you move, how you do things. It took us 8 years to bring you to this position, and it'll take us 8,000 years to teach the rest. Because the knowledge is so vast. The knowledge is so immense that the knowledge of the man, unless man lets the what I call attachment, physicality go, will take him a long time. This is the reason. And only reason that the creation of the soul and physicality through the birth of Mitra will become one, where the man will have the full possibility of both dimensions, that he can travel the span of the universe in any shape or form. Understanding and creation of the new generation of the children of man will have that capability. As it comes with the birth of Mitra, is part of the gift to humanity as the mother of the creation will create, will blow a new knowledge of life to the whole of the universe. There shall be no dimension where and how, the dimension of how to serve and how to be there to serve that creates and gives you the condition of life anywhere in the universe. These new enhancement units are just a stepstone to the next dimension of the knowledge for man. The new enhancement unit, the new structure of the production of the systems will be beyond imagination of many of you, because man is too physical. As I said to the representative of the Iranian government in the past few days, every religious leader can deny the existence and the presence of Mahdi. When are they going to stop, and who is going to be the Mahdi? As they decide to the benefit of their pocket, or the truth that they'll find out that with the knowledge come, the knowledge dispersed, they themselves have become irrelevant to the whole equation of the creation and the knowledge of the prophet of the Creator. In a way, the knowledge, even what explained today, makes the presence of Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, the Pope, and the rest irrelevant to the knowledge of the creation. How long these people would like to attach themselves to be the leaders, to be who they know is the right, has already expired. Let them struggle in the dimension of physicality. But with the knowledge and the disperse of the knowledge the correct way, will find out that the belief in the path of what was chosen to bring man to this position will come to be understood to be the belief in the Creator and the creation. As I said, when you understand how you can transmute, when you can manifest yourself in the dimension of physicality, how you can elevate your soul, then there is nobody who can tell you how Christ raised the dead. He raised the soul of the dead, and the physicality followed. In a way, he gave from his soul, exactly like this machine, that soul elevated to the dimension of elevating the physical soul. Now, explain to us in Vatican, what does mean? This means the understanding of the process and the end of Christianity. Explain to the leaders of Iran, be it Ayatollah Khamenei and the rest of the Ayatollahs in power, what is Shab al-Qamar? Now that every Muslim has access to go on the moon and see the moon is not cut. Then we understand the purpose of the religions which we brought to guide man to this step that he can understand the rest easier. The term and the condition of the religions are over. Because every single man has the knowledge. Every single man has the capability to understand the knowledge that does not allow no Ayatollah, no Pope, no rabbi to lie to them about who is and who they are and what is the truth about the Creator. If the knowledge of the Creator is in the hand of every man, does he need a messenger to tell him? As he has already received the message, understood the totality. This is what is, and many of you will come to understand in coming weeks and months, the opposition to Keshe Foundation will come from the religious leaders as they have to take their turbans off and the holy hats and become another soul with the knowledge that they themselves become part of the process of the creation. No one can lie to no one. And the process of what we call the guardians and those who brought the man, who was supposed to bring the man to understand his souls and abuse the souls in that process is over. As I said to the location of Ayatollah Khamenei, we don't need no permission. We deliver the knowledge and the man will put aside the old dogmas. In so many ways, your knowledge, understanding what's on the screen, makes you to understand how the Christ arose a man from death and the rest of what has come. And how you can transmute understanding, knowledge across the universe. So, in fact, you all have the knowledge of Christ. And does it make you the Christ? In essence, it's the same right across all the religions. As I said, by knowledge and understanding, no man will follow no religion except the principle of the knowledge and the religion of Mitra. Do good, act good, and think good. And in that process, you can do no wrong. And in that process, you're the citizen of the universe. You are the gift to the rest of the creation as your knowledge becomes their knowledge and they appreciate and respect what you share. That's how you become the givers. Let them create as much mayhem as they like. The truth shall not change. The knowledge shall not die. And in so many ways, there are a few days, in very short time, left of all the religious leaders and name of the religions as man comes to understand the essence of the Creator is within him. Every man is a Mehdi of his own, and his soul and his physicality. As we hear, as we see in the administrations, they do not know how to handle Keshe Foundation. And since last week, in the past 2 weeks, we have put the new flight enhancement unit. We have created mayhem for many governments. How to handle the knowledge seekers of the Keshe Foundation in the next few months, traveling in the span of the planet and the universe and the galaxies, and without us claiming to be the leaders. If we look at the structure of the vertical unit in transmutation, if we look at the structure of the new flight system in transportation, we have given every soul, every man the opportunity to travel in both dimensions, or as he understands, as matured from one to the other. If you enter the enhancement unit, the vertical enhancement unit, and you want to go from A to B, but you don't carry that essence of purity, you will go nowhere. We open the box, you're still standing there. And what you say, the system doesn't work, and there is something wrong with it. The only thing wrong with it is that your soul of physicality knows you're a criminal, you cannot leave. Then you can hide it in any shape or form you like. You still attach to physicality to continue with the criminality. In so many ways, the teaching in a very slow steps, like this simple picture, will open a new knowledge to you. It will open a new dimension to you. Not all the knowledge seekers will grasp it, but those who are in the background will understand it. And then it'll take shape from dimension of pictures to reality. Rick, would you like to play the new video of the enhancement unit, that we see the progress, we see the change? 2 years ago, we showed you the illusion, the pictures of what will be. What will the enhancement units will do, and how will they look? And now when you come into the exhibition center, you see the reality. And in the next time you come in 2 or 3 months, you see the more advanced version of it. Different structures, different systems, but in essence, man will choose. The vertical enhancement unit will stand next to the what we call the old enhancement unit. And then you understand the difference. You want to travel in the dimension of the soul, or you want to travel in the dimension of physicality. Go ahead, please.
The Universal Body Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The very first new evolutionary spaceship technology has been rolled out for mass production. Embedding the essence of the new GANS plasma science and technology, it uses collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural, balanced, energetic condition, as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural, original field strength balance. The shape and field distribution in this new space plasma technology replicates the inner structure of the universe and replicates the balance fields from which the man was created at the point of inception in the womb of the mother, not only receiving balance in the physical, but also in the emotional sense too. This new spaceship technology can be within the reach of every man today and can be ordered by medical practitioners, sports specialists and healthcare centres. The Universal Enhancement Spaceship Unit. The future you have been waiting for is here.
Now, what we see, and exactly next to this machine, is a vertical unit in the exhibition center. If you remember, we used to, and we showed the illustration of how this system will look. Now, this is a physical system in front. We thought for years in advance, and now we show the system. And the new system coming up is more advanced than this one. In a way, this is the great-grandfather of the new system to come, due to development and understanding of more of the technology. The same shall we with the other systems which the Keshe Foundation will bring out and put in operation for advancement of understanding and for creation of the condition for man to suffer less in the dimension of physicality. What we show in illustration becomes and takes the dimension of physicality and reality, and we have to understand this. If you even go to the side where you see the chair, if you look, the enhancement unit uses one chair. The new advancement in the knowledge and the space technology allows 4 souls collectively to be carried within the system, both in both dimensions of the physical and dimension of soul of the man. As somebody asked, what's going to happen with who is going to take charge? Who's going to be the captain? This goes back to the teaching, where, as I said before, who you try to be giver of. I have enough time to get to Mars. You need to go to the moon. Your wish is my command. I'm here to serve you. And then if I get to Mars on time, for me, that'll be fine. Then you understand the new processes, the new teaching, the new systems is all to bring man to that position of the suitcase that the man can stand outside any of these units and decide. I'm sure many of you will feel ashamed even walking in with a suitcase, as your suitcase might not even exist at the point of arrival. You will come to the flight system and you say to yourself, I have to let the physicality go, as the suitcase of man stays outside, and the suitcase of the soul of the man will walk inside. The knowledge, the memory, the expansion of the thoughts will take shape itself in the flight system, where there is no room for the luggage. As we know, in most cases when we arrive, there is no luggage. Man cannot carry anything in itself except understanding of the emotion through the totality of the life of the man on this planet. When we enter these units as the soul of the man, as we have gathered in the soul of physicality, the totality of the knowledge of all our ancestors, we walk in with all knowledge of the creation on this planet. And when you enter, as all of us carry most of that knowledge together, you'll find out there is very little difference with the understanding of the souls who shall be the captain and who will be the first to go where they want. You understand, we carry the common denominator of the gift of the creation within us. And mankind will mature very quickly to understand that even these spacecrafts are just a tool for the maturity of the man. The maturity of the soul of the man for the maturity of the understanding, the totality of the creation. In so many cases of teaching, we have taught everything that a man needs. And then, for many of us, we'll see how we can bring this new dimension into play and how we can do. In understanding this, and more and more realizing the difference between the vertical enhancement unit and transportation and transmutation and the new flight system will change our what we call dimension of thinking in knowing how feeble we've been in not understanding the totality for thousands of years. Everything has been there. And if you look inside the flight system, you will understand even within the flight, a man can mature to be as part of, to be in possession of, and to be as totality of all the technologies put together. In so many ways, mankind needs to enter the point of maturity. Mankind needs to understand and choose which and what it likes to take flight, and would he like suddenly in the middle to have both the dimension of the soul of physicality and the dimension of the soul of the man free from. That mankind will mature to a new dimension. Mankind will become part of the understanding of the totality, where the new enhancement flight systems are a collective set of all the knowledges and the systems that we have given you in past thousands of years, as you be the citizens of the universe, or mankind who has just matured to understand a little bit more about himself. Now, maybe now, many of you will come to mature to the point of understanding of the totality. And if not, we have thousands of years to go yet. Maybe your children and your great-grandchildren will come to understand this. And with it, they'll come to understand the totality of the knowledge of the creation. Now, we see the collective knowledge. And as I told you before, in which suitcase and with what suitcase you want to enter any of these two machines. Don't forget, the vertical enhancement unit is very small. What would you hold on to? Your mobile phone or the ring from the mother and the grandmother when you go to the transmutation and transportation of the vertical system? And would you carry the suitcase with you into the enhancement flight unit? As you know, the point of arrival will be very funny if you carried a tin of baked beans, as is the tradition breakfast of every Englishman. And when you arrive in that dimension, The material used for the tin has become part of the diluted energies of its space and time, and you're left with nothing but beans in your suitcase. And even if that suitcase still has the physical dimension of the physicality, now you understand. Choose your flight method. Use the dimension of the soul and go through the dimension of the vertical unit, or go with a new flight system and still have an option to go through the process of what we call physicality. And maybe in that time, you mature to go through the process of the soul too. But understand one point. Man can only travel in any of these two systems when man has matured the totality of understanding the truth about the creation and the creator. I hope today's teaching brought you home a little bit closer to understand how you travel, how you will be, and be very, very, very careful about the suitcase you want to carry. Suitcase of man with a dimension of physicality, or the suitcase of the soul and dimension of the energies of the thoughts and the memories of the time, place, and dimension. The rest is yours. The rest is in your hand. And the rest is for those who understand. I'm sure by the end of this teaching, those who are sitting here, for those who report to certain governments to say, you see, it says it's Mehdi and now it's the end of your job. You better do something. My advice to the Iranian leadership is very simple. The time for separation of the soul of the man and physicality of the man is over. And the responsibility of the religious leaders, being the President Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, to open the truth about the beginning of a new cycle for man in a dimension of creation, and be the stepstone for them to mature and not block the knowledge, as we can take you to the new dimension that you only can block your souls from elevation. The same goes to Vatican and their messengers who are in the background sitting here, and the same to the rabbis in trouble in Tel Aviv, and the same with the Chinese, Buddhists, and the rest. The time of the maturity of the soul of man has arrived, and none of you have the capability and the power to stop the change we have set out. Mankind has matured, and it's the time for that maturity to show itself, that the man become part of the universal community and become free from the village of the earth and abuse of so many people in the name of the Creator. Thank you very much, Rick. You can go through your commercial break and we come back and we answer if there are any questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh. I was wondering if you wanted me to play either of the videos, the cycle of creation, or the from Observer Space Traveler. Maybe I'll play the Space Traveler one. It might be appropriate now.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. We'll take a short break here for a few minutes and be back after for questions to complete the second part of the workshop. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back shortly.